Hello, this is Vincent. Welcome to Dogma Discussions. This time I have another story for you about the dogma of glorifying God. That should be interesting. Please hit the like button, put a comment below, share the video, subscribe, and all that. Here we go. Have you ever heard that in order to be a good Christian, you must give your life to God? Jesus expresses this idea through his command to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. Many Christians quote it, saying that it's a guiding principle of their faith. Yet, is it really that easy to follow to the letter? It's not a very specific command, is it? An expansion on the concept of how to love God so completely is found in 1 Corinthians, in which the Apostle Paul says to do everything for the glory of God, whatever you do. My mother used this verse to justify our faith's stance against dancing, drinking, smoking. You get the idea. Is it possible to give glory to God through smoking? Nope. Dancing? Nope. Drinking to the glory of God? Unlikely. And what about sex? Can sex be done to the glory of God? Well, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Since we know that Christians have sex. The difficulty with the command is this. Glorifying God with everything you do may seem like a simple act in theory, yet in actuality, it takes some interesting mental adjustments for the believer to make it work, especially with sex. Regarding the hokey pokey, Genesis is clear. After God created humans, they are commanded to procreate. Remember, be fruitful and multiply. So, does the Bible teach that sex is only to produce children? Not necessarily. In order to puzzle this out, let's consider scriptural references to the sensual appreciation of the physical body. In the Song of Solomon, a man compares his lover to a palm tree, the fruit of which, i.e., his lover's breasts, he desires to, fondle. And in the same chapter, a woman describes her male lover as an apple tree whose fruit is delightful to taste. Okay, both verses are definitely erotic and clearly different than the Genesis version. Yet, how do those references to sensuality, meaning merely the pursuit of physical pleasure, give glory to God? The Bible doesn't say. Furthermore, why is this book avoided in many churches? Is it because King Solomon lived like a modern rock star, having many wives and concubines? Is it because there are indications that the lovers in the song, as it's known, are man and wife, and yet they lust after each other's bodies? Possibly, but the answer may be simpler. Perhaps its content is intentionally avoided, since the New Testament's message about sex is so different. In the Gospel of Mark, sensuality is included in a list of sins, along with sexual immorality, murder, and slander. So, sensuality is akin to murder? Perhaps Mark is an outlier. Surely other gospel writers aren't so unreasonable. What about Matthew? Well, he says that if someone even looks at a woman lustfully, he's already an adulterer. Oh dear. That also seems a bit extreme. Maybe moving out of the Gospels will provide us with a less vitriolic perspective towards sex. And to whom shall we turn? How about another of Jesus' apostles? What about Peter's writings? Surely he'll be more reasonable. After all, he wasn't the most perfect person himself. Disappointedly, in his first book, Peter exhorts his readers to abstain from passions of the flesh, which, he says, attack your soul. Yikes. You can't give glory to God doing something that corrupts your very soul. Next, we examine the Apostle Paul. Spoiler alert, he's not known for his appreciation of the fairer sex. Yet, he's one of the most influential New Testament writers, so he must be considered. Surprisingly, for being such a curmudgeon, 1 Corinthians does state that men and women should give their spouses their conjugal rights. Seems a bit sterile, but it's something. Yet in letters to other churches, he is not so moderate. In 1 Thessalonians, he says to keep your body holy, not lusting like the godless Gentiles. Here we go again. Linking physical desire to godlessness is akin to Peter's view that it defiles your soul. In Paul's correspondence to the Galatians, he includes sensuality along with sexual immorality, jealousy, and drunkenness. But wait, Paul did say that it's okay for married couples to enjoy their conjugal bed, right? So there appears to be a place for sex in a godly person's life. After all, doesn't it? Not so fast. Read a little further in 1 Corinthians and he explains that it's good to be like him and not marry. But if you can't control your passion, then marry. Translation, if you're a spiritual weenie, go ahead and have sex. There you have it. For Christians, the New Testament completely counteracts the depiction of sensuality in the song. So, how is a Christian, someone who wants to be devout and live their life giving glory to God, deal with the obvious fact that sex is firmly rooted in the physical and not the spiritual world? Consider my ex-girlfriend, Abby, whose church forbade birth control. She received dispensation to be on the pill because of painful menstruation. She then, although unmarried, proceeded to copulate happily without fear of pregnancy. Yet, the church also taught against premarital sex. Abby reasoned around that prohibition by claiming in this manner that she only had sex in committed relationships. And since she had to love the person to commit, and love was from God, then the act itself was giving glory to God. And if God wanted her to get pregnant, it would happen, even on the pill. Wait, what? Isn't sex outside of marriage still a sin? Isn't the pill 99% effective? Never mind. Next. Another girlfriend of mine named Cassie believed that God would protect her from getting pregnant as long as she focused on the Almighty during sex. Excuse me? Yep, we had just started dating when, as we kissed and fondled each other passionately one evening, our clothes started flying off. Let me take you to that moment. We are rolling around on the living room floor of my very small apartment. I stop and rise up onto my elbow, looking down into her eyes, which sparkle with passion. I ask, "Are you on the pill?" "No," she says breathlessly, her face a rosy hue. "Okay, let me go to the gas station down the street and get condoms," I responsibly suggest. "No," she says, reaching her arms around my neck and pulling me back into her warm embrace. She showers me with kisses and whispers into my ear, "You don't have to worry about it, because I can't get pregnant." I pull away again and remind her, "But you have a child." "Right," she admits, stroking the side of my face gently. But that was because just don't worry about it. It won't happen again. She rises to kiss me, but my body withdraws even further. Why not? I ask. Lying back down and locking my eyes in her gaze, she replies, because God will protect me. Did God tell you that? I ask, obviously concerned. No, but I figured it out. I got pregnant because I was being lustful and not in a place of worship. But with you it will be different. How? I wonder aloud. She sits up, her voice's volume increasing with the level of her irritation. Well, because I'll open my heart to God and will surrender myself to Him during sex. Not you. That will give glory to Him, so He will protect me. I stare at her confusedly and wonder if she really believes that or is just plain crazy. Who knows? Yet it's not only these women whom I've known to engage in these kinds of mental gymnastics. My friend Nate's religion taught that sex was only for children and birth control was a sin. Copulating for pregnancy was the only way that sex was pure and gave glory to God. Yet, after their third child, Nate and his wife wanted to continue having sex, but without any more pregnancies. So they became inventive, substituting anal, oral, mutual masturbation, just about anything but vaginal sex, in order to satisfy their desires while avoiding pregnancy. Yet, wouldn't their very avoidance of the possibility of conception, even though shunning modern birth control, be a violation of their church's precepts? You would think. But they rationalized it thusly. Since God impregnated Mary when she was a virgin, as long as Nate's seed was somewhere around, on, or inside some part of his wife, God could cause pregnancy if He really wanted to. What? Hold on. Not this kind of reasoning again. Don't let dogma force you to create justifications in order to enjoy consensual sexual pleasures. Why? It's dangerous. How? Because it's not just the physical pleasure that's affected by the mental twisting that dogma can cause. That kind of altered thinking can lead people to fall into a pattern of bad decisions. Thus, save yourself and reject dogma. Don't put shackles on your mind. That's it for my story. Thank you for listening. Again, this is Vincent with Dogma Discussions. Please share this video with someone you think might need to hear it or enjoy hearing it. Hit the like button, put some comments in below for me, and hit the subscribe button. Until next time, goodbye.